Kenny, your husband, and your 3 boys. So how did things change once you became a mother?
Because of that gumption, that energy, that desire to make a difference. I always had that ingrained in me from the time I was born. And I was involved in the PTA, the foundation, newsletter editor. I was fundraising, doing all that I could do to make a difference for my kids, for the kids at the school. And I also was holding down a corporate job in the wireless telecom industry. So I will have to admit, there were days that I was working and I was traveling sometimes 10 days a month.
Wow.
There were days that I forgot to pick up my kids from school because it was early out day and I was busy with my corporate job, and I will have to admit that. And I was becoming very sad that I wasn't the mom that I wanted to be, that they weren't having mom present all the time. I had a nanny that took care of them. I was relying on other moms to cart them around places, and I knew that this is not what was meant to be.
Yeah.
And so I realized at that point, after years of doing this, they were all under the age of 7 at the time, I was able, thanks to the support also of my husband, although I was a very strong 6-figure income earner in a male-dominated industry at the time, and this was almost 20 years ago. And I was able to stay home and be with my children and focus on their health and their nutrition that I felt was lacking. And when I did that, as much as I loved being a mom, I also still had that intrinsic desire to make a difference and to do more. I couldn't just stop all of that. So I got involved in the school and I participated in all the things where I could make a difference in the school. And so that's when I realized, when I was able to leave that corporate job, that I also wanted to build a business, also to be a contributor to my family as well financially, but really more because I wanted to serve people in a bigger way. So I started a home-based business in wellness. I've been a partner with the Juice Plus company for 20 years now, because that allowed me not only to improve my family's health through better plant-based nutrition, but also to build an income and have something that I can make a difference with, that I could work around my family instead of the other way around, which is what I was doing in the corporate world.
So you were literally combining your purpose of being a connector with a new business, meaning increasing the well-being of everyone around you first, so your inner circle, your family, and then everyone else.
Exactly.
I love that. That's beautiful.
It's been, and I still, 20 years later, absolutely love helping people with their health. I've become a master certified health coach along the journey, and the nutrition's a tool in my health coaching toolbox.
Yeah.
But I absolutely love and will always love helping people to live out their purpose longer and with more vitality, and not have to be retiring when they want to play on the ground with their grandkids or travel, and then they can't because of their lack of wellness. So that'll always be a real important part of how I show up in the world for people.
It's not always about longevity. It's more about how long you live with a certain lifestyle and with the ability to walk, to be active, and so on. I love that you're helping with that. Tell us a little bit more about Juice Plus. Why do you love the product so much?
When I was searching for the right supplements, the supplements that I felt were right for my family, there was too much to wade through. We go to the store anywhere from Whole Foods, even when we know they're better, to GNC. It was overwhelming. I didn't know what to choose. I wasn't able to read labels at the time, so I had to trust, and I didn't feel right about it until I learned about this concentrated plant product. And when I realized that it was a nutrition label, not a supplement label, and that the research was independent in human blood, proving that it improved heart health, it improved immune function, lowered inflammation, improved brain health. When I saw that the statistics proved that more plant-based nutrition improves health, that's when I chose it. And when I started to notice improvements in not only my kids' health, getting sick less, never having an earache again, not having that constant in and out of school cycle because you're recatching colds and things like that. My husband and I had improvements in our health that were noticeable. I realized it wasn't a supplement we needed. It's more plants.
Yeah.
And so this was just a vehicle to make it very simple to get more micronutrients from plants in our bodies.
Going back to the role as a connector, when did networking really enter your life and how?
I started that business in wellness, and I decided I needed to meet more people. I wanted to listen and learn who needed support with their health. So that's when I discovered networking. And I was attending networking co-ed groups, which serve their purpose. I did not feel this deeper connection until I stumbled upon an organization that was offering women's only networking. And this organization was warm, receiving everyone, genuinely supporting one another. And I realized at that moment that this is where I belong. This is that community of women that I've been gathering my whole life. And this is where I belong. And I actually have a mentor, Dawn Billings, who started that organization. And I became a leader in her chapter for many, many years. And it was well received. At the time, there were very few women's networking communities. And so it grew really fast. It attracted a lot of women who actually, in that first meeting I was in, it was like a ticker went across my forehead.
Yeah.
That this is a high integrity community of entrepreneurial women with a mutual respect and a genuine desire to support one another. And I hadn't felt that in any other networking group. So fast forward, Dawn retired. That organization was no longer. And we were talking, and she basically gave me the blessing. There was nothing to sell. There was nothing that still existed in her organization. But she wanted me to carry on the legacy. And I decided to do that. And 3 years ago, founded HeartLink Network Women.